The good, the bad, the ugly. Two good stories, two bad stories, two ugly stories today. One comes from the world of sports. The Buffalo Bills got a win over Miami, a playoff win in Orchard Park, New York, this past weekend, the home of the Bills. There's a young man who is remaining anonymous. He is 22 years old. He went to the game with his dad, and late in the game, after drinking heavily, said, "Dad, I'm not feeling well. I'll meet you in the truck." And the dad said, "Okay, but this game's going down to the wire. I'm staying." Which, who can blame him? That game was a lot closer than most thought it would be. So the kid goes out to the truck. He had used the bathroom, then went to the truck and found that the truck was locked, but the game was ending, so he crawled into the bed of the truck just to wait for his father and fell asleep. Again, he'd been drinking heavily all day, and he was under a cover. You know, it was cold. So 1 hour later, he wakes up. He's in Amherst, New York. He had crawled into the bed of the wrong truck.
Nice.
Classic Buffalo Mafia.
That's Buffalo. That's Bill's Mafia for you, isn't it?
Boy, he was ripped, wasn't he?
So two friends unknowingly get into their truck and drive an hour home to Amherst, New York, and then hear something moving and beating on the top of the cover as they turn the vehicle off in the driveway. And one gets out, rolls back the cover, and there's a 22-year-old drunk kid saying, "Oh, my God."
Did we win?
But the good
second
news,
most miraculous.
That's
recovery.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Here's the good story. Here's why it's a good story. Those two got a great laugh out of it, brought the kid into the house, sobered him up, let him charge his phone. He called his father. His father came and got him.
All's well.
And now they're planning on meeting up at this weekend's playoff game.
Nice.
As the Bills take on the Bengals from Cincinnati.
See what town he ends up in this
Yeah,
time.
End up in Ohio.
Crawling into the wrong truck.
Yeah, driving to a Cincinnati game.
Be in Dayton.
You know what I'm hearing about that game? It was just speculated yesterday. Is it possible Damar Hamlin, who had a cardiac arrest on the field 3 weeks ago, in this same matchup, Cincinnati against Buffalo? Of course, the game was canceled then. Could he lead the Bills out onto the field when they play this weekend?
It's
He
possible.
may be like in the bench or up in a box with the owner.
Well, if he lead them onto the field, like waving a flag,
Yeah.
that crowd would go crazy.
Right on the back of a motorcycle or something like that. That'd be pretty
Possibility,
cool.
I guess. I mean, that's only just being like, is it possible he could do that? As a surprise, I think the crowd would go nuts. Well, they're all huge fans of the Bills, and the two friends said the kid was super nice, and the dad was wondering, where is he? Because he was still back in the parking lot looking for his son.
And you're probably calling his phone.
Yeah, and his phone was dead.
Or what do you do?
Yeah, so he charged the phone, called the dad, and the dad's like, well, I was wondering, and he drove to Amherst to pick him up.
If you're the dad of the drunk guy, how long do you wait in the parking lot before you go home?
I think you've got to wait.
You call police before you leave?
I think you have to wait until the entire parking lot is empty, and then walk the parking lot and the stadium, and then call.
That scare the hell out of you, though?
Absolutely.
For a parent?
Your kids just
Sit there and looking for your kid, and he went out of the stadium by himself?
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half that he was without his. I mean, the kid's an adult. He's 22.
Drunk.
And he's drunk, and the dad is thinking, like, where is he? And I guess he was probably just about ready to get security involved.
I mean, everything goes through your brain. Did you get in a fight? Somebody kidnap you? Did
Yeah, where are you? I know.
Stab you? Who knows?
Well, the thing is that the phone is dead, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it died right there in the back of that truck when the kid passed out.
Of course, back in the day, didn't have phones. Remember?
Right. Yeah, right. Of course I remember.
It was really dangerous when you got drunk back then.
Didn't stop you.
So I'd know. Climbing the back of a truck. Be gone for weeks.
That's right. We've got a hero on our hands today, a railroad worker in Georgia who rescued a raccoon from an oncoming train. The raccoon, apparently during a real cold snap in Georgia, had gotten onto the railroad tracks, and its testicle fur had frozen to the track. The fact.
They don't have that.
That's right.
How do you know?
The fur around its testicles. Well, I grew up country strong.
I did too, but
these things.
I never looked down there.
This is the
At
gentleman. The railroad worker saw it struggling to get off the tracks, and this is the audio from the video that he recorded.
Well, his nuts froze to the rail. Operation well performed. Little fella's safe. There's the rest of his nut hair. God damn, froze to the rail.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't this exact thing happen to a dog in Joe Dirt.
Yeah, that's right.
His
Nuts
dog
stuck to the porch.
Froze to the porch.
Yep.
That's right. This animal's scrotum was frozen, a raccoon, to the railroad track. And this gentleman right here is a hero.
Well, his nuts are froze to the rail. Operation well performed. Little fella's safe. There's the rest of his nut hair. God damn, froze to the rail.
There's the rest of the nut hair.
Need we say any more
Not
than
all
that?
heroes wear capes.
BB Shea, you ever do that up at Western Carolina?
All right.
A couple
Poor
times.
bad fraternity brother.
Just looking for something to do. Yeah.
Poor bad.
Friday night.
Nut hair froze to the rail. He used warm water and a small shovel to free the raccoon, which was nipping at him all the way.
I'll bet.
Yeah, I think Joe Dirt used a spatula.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Spatula and some hot water. Hot water's great.
Well, the warm water is exactly what you have to have in that situation.
Yeah.
And he says, look, I'm no hero. I just did what I thought was right. Next train was coming through in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, you got to work fast.
Let's get
There's
at it.
always a train
Get
coming.
in there and do it, right. This is animal related as well, but unfortunately it's the bad story and a strange one. This is in England, Coventry. They are looking for a criminal they call the cat shaver of Coventry because a number of cats in 2 different neighborhoods have been targeted in the last year and a half. Someone is going around shaving shapes into cats. The latest victim, Bonnie Toe, who lives in a suburb called Radford, noticed a bald patch, a perfect square, in her cat when her daughter picked up the feline, although the feline otherwise was completely unharmed. And now several have called police saying, there's a circle on my cat's back, a square on its side. This woman's concern is that Tallulah may have been marked. They're saying, is it a marking for a future crime so that you are marking it? But police basically just think this is somebody,
Some random sicko.
some hijinks. They're saying it's not,
Is
they're,
it possible that they're stuck to rat traps or mouse traps?
no, because the shapes are so perfect, they're saying, and different shapes. And it's happening all over the place. And the cats are not stuck to them. They come right home. They're outdoor cats, but they come up to the porch, and all of a sudden they've had something shaved into them.
Now, how did you classify this? Good, bad, or ugly?
Bad.
They're ugly cats.
This is bad now. Well, they are ugly
You're not
cats.
a cat fan.
now.
It's good.
They're ugly cats for sure. They're thinking that it is just someone trying to play a joke and have some fun and shave. But boy, shaving a perfect square into a cat.
Where you're taking your life into your own hands.
That's going to be
And
tough.
just grabbing a cat in the first place.
Yeah, that's not
Not
easy to do.
Most
That's
of them
right.
don't. A lot of them don't let you pick them up.
Andrea Wilson's pet Daisy came home with a significant amount of fur missing in October of 2021, and police thought
And the KISS logo and its back.
no big deal. But now she put it out on Facebook, and several others are saying. Rebecca Knight says, "Hey, Shelby and Smudge had shapes shaved into their backs as well. They've been targeted, and one Smudge was completely shaved except for its face and its butt.
Jeez.
And so that's a crime, I guess. Animal cruelty. Would you call it that?
probably.
Is it cruel, though? Probably.
I mean, the cats really feel they have no problems.
They're embarrassed.
They're just they're just embarrassed.
Smudge, a great name for
They
a
look
cat.
fun. That is a good name.
Got to be a
I
black
think
cat.
I read. Don't quote me on this, but I think I have read that in England there are of course plenty of cats. They outnumber the dogs. Right in the U.S.,
Oh, is that right?
more cats.
Yeah,
more
probably
cats
so.
than dogs in the U.S.
Yeah.
Simply because people don't get them spayed and neutered.
Right,
They're
yeah.
more wild.
Yeah,
But I think in England it's way more common. I think most cat owners just let them out.
outside.
Yeah, they're in the U.S. like our cats are indoor cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a cat that's an indoor cat.
Yeah, but
And-
in the UK people think that's astonishing. Why would you keep a cat indoors?
Really?
They just let him out.
Because cats really survive pretty well outside, don't they?
They sure
yeah,
can.
They do well. Yeah.
That's the premise of The Electrical Life of Lewis Wayne about cats in England and how this is the first guy that ever had a cat in his house and kept it as a pet.
Really?
And
I've never heard of this.
yeah, and other English people would be like, oh, "What do you mean? You keep it outside?" He's like, "No, I keep it in my house." And they were like flabbergasted.
Really?
That this guy, and he was very eclectic, and some say that he had issues and stuff. It's Cumberbatch.
Oh, really?
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other girl's name. Bonham.
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, it's a good little movie. Electrical Life of Lewis Wayne.
And he was the first to put a cat in his house.
Domesticate an animal like that.
yeah, it's a good little movie if you get a chance to watch it.
Because a cat, like we have a cat now. This cat is 7 or 8 months old. Lovely. And my daughter, of course, loves her. We would never put her outside. Never. But if we did and just put food out, she'd come back, right? I mean, you don't have
Chances
to.
are very good.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
never really
There
worry.
are predators, of course. But,
Right,
yeah.
right. But you don't really worry about them escaping. Of course, we never would. If my daughter even heard me speaking about putting this cat outside, she'd put me outside first. That's how much she loves.
But it's the end of litter boxes.
Oh, true.
Think about that.
That's right.
That's the advantage.
You don't have to worry
How's
about
your
litter.
cat, Kelly?
Very well.
How long has it been now?
We've had the cat since I think October.
Yeah.
And doing very well.
Has that animal, the cat, seen the guinea pig sanctuary?
We keep them separate. We keep
Why?
the
She
guinea
would tear
pig-
them apart.
No, we keep the guinea pigs in one room, and then we keep the cat no access to that room. Cat has the run of the rest of the house.